perfect. So it's just chopping it perfectly. You can see that. It's like a fine little dice there. I love it. So that's great. That's probably all we'll need. We'll save this other half possibly for toppings. And then we're gonna do the same kind of cut on the pepper, and it can go on the same because it's all gonna go on that pan that we're heating up right now. So, all right, super easy. So we've got a poblano pepper and like a half of an onion in here. Chopped up. Our pan is heated probably pretty close, so we can put, we've got some, I'll bring this over, but we've got you got some taco seasoning right here, whatever brand you like, whatever flavors you like, mix your own, doesn't matter. We have a great chipotle and a Southwest spice that I love. Gluten-free, non-GMO, I love our spices. This is ground beef. It's a rough grind, but it's still ground beef. It's delicious ground beef. All natural. So we're gonna put this right on the rock because this seasons it and flavors it for those nachos when we put those chips on there. And put it in the oven to bake, which is why we preheated our oven. So while that is cooking, we're gonna let it brown, and then we add our onions and peppers to it, and then we'll season it with a little bit of the taco seasoning. In the meantime, you may be wondering why I have these out, because we're gonna make our own homemade guacamole with our avocado tool, our juicer, and some fresh cilantro. We're gonna use our chopper to put some more onions and tomatoes in it, and then we have this amazing guacamole. So our meat is browning. It is browned. It smells good. It's nice and crispy. And we are going to add our onions and peppers, which we chopped up just a minute ago, to the rock crop grill stone. Now the rock crop grill stone is not new in our spring line, but it's just an awesome staple that everybody should have. So it goes on the grill, it goes in the oven, it goes on the stove top. It's awesome. I love cooking pizzas on it, both in the oven and on the grill. So I'm taking a little bit of that taco seasoning and I'm sprinkling that on top. Here and show you. I'm going to put it on our new trivets. They're so cool. They're 3 different tiers, and you can use them as hot plates like these too. So I'm going to set this right here on this, and it looks and smells delicious. And now we're just going to kind of scoop this off here because we're going to put our chips right on here with all of that yummy, what they call the fond in culinary school, which is like the little bits and the brown that sticks to the pan when you saute and brown vegetables or meats or whatever. And this is a good one because it's got the meat flavor and the onions and the seasoning. I love this coating. This pan is a great pan. It is seriously so versatile. I've made it already, recipes on that I've posted on my page here on the Culinary Corner. I've made pizza in it, 2 different sets of nachos so far, and I think I've had this, a week? Maybe not even 2. It's just great. I love it. I want to try a dessert in it next. That's my next challenge because I'm not, in case you haven't noticed, guys, I haven't posted a lot of dessert recipes, or you've seen me cooking a lot of dessert videos, and that is because I am not a big dessert cooker. I'm not a baker. I'm not, it's not my forte, I guess you would say. Okay, so we've got our bowl of chips right here. That's what's in here. Use whatever chips you like, your favorite ones. Thin, thick, crispy, round, tiny, I don't care. But you do want to try to make sure you coat your whole grill pan because you don't want any spots to burn where that grease is or anything like that from the meat that's left over. So you want to make sure, this is for my whole family, so we're going to load her up. And then you can see everything I've got right here going on is going to be all of like our toppings and the stuff for the guacamole. I'm not putting beans on this, but black beans would be a great addition to this, or a substitution for the meat. You could still use the peppers and onions when you warmed up the beans. My husband hates black beans, so I'm not using black beans in this recipe. I love black beans, and my kids eat both. They eat the vegan nachos, and they eat these. They love both. So we've got our whole layer now of chips, which are already warming up, because the Rock Crock sets, they stay warm really long. So we're gonna just dump our meat, kind of spread it back over this here. And this, like I said, would be a great time. You could use refried beans, and you can add that with the meat or in substitution of the meat. Okay, dropped a little chunk of meat there. All right, so let's pick this up. There we go. So we've got our meat, our onions, our peppers, our chips on this, and now we're gonna kind of make some toppings for it before we cover it with cheese and put it in the oven, which we have set to 425. And you won't need to leave it in the oven very long. You definitely wanna watch and make sure you don't burn your chips. So keep an eye on that and don't let it go too long. But this will only take a second because we have this great thing. So we are going to start with the tomatoes. And it looks like a lot, but that we're gonna chop for both the guacamole and then here, see, you can see our end here. We'll just pull that out. Our guacamole, I put it in the, and the top of the nachos. So you definitely want to cut all these tomatoes up. It's just chopping away. I think actually what would be the best thing is probably just to cut the tops right off so I don't have to pull them out of the, you know, because it's chopping right through them. It's going to be hard to find them. Okay, so now, and I love this, the Santoku knife. I use it for everything. You see me using it every time we do a video pretty much. And our cutting mats, which are flexible, amazing, have measurements on them, and they go in the dishwasher, and they're so thin and easy to just use all the time, so. All right, so let me find those two and pull those out. Okay, now we've got our, you can see how easy this is and how fast it is. Okay, so we've got our tomatoes. I'm just gonna cut a little piece off of these. All right, so we've got our tomatoes chopped up, and I'm going to take a little bit out for the topping and put it in a bowl, and then I'm just gonna leave the rest in there to mix with the onion for the guacamole. Okay. So there we go. So now we want some onion in our guacamole too. So we're gonna chop that onion. There's the onion and the tomato for the guacamole. Okay, so we have our avocados here, and I'm gonna grab my cheese real quick, right here. And I'm gonna spread the cheese all over the nachos. Avocado Tool time, which doesn't sound very exciting, but it is. I love avocados. I eat them all the time. It's a great source of healthy fats. So this avocado tool is awesome because it has a side right here that's kind of sharp and has some teeth that'll go through your avocado skin. So you kind of, you know, you just like you normally would, right through there. See? Perfect. And then the nice thing about this is that you can remove the seed with it. So you just kind of go, and then it'll pull it right out. So, that's awesome. Then the next best thing about this is, you know how you slice usually in the shell or dice it in the shell? It has a dull side here that won't pierce through the skin, so you're not as you know, it's much safer. You're not in danger of cutting yourself while you're holding the avocado. I love that about this. Plus, when you do that with your knife and you hack into the seed, like most people go like that, you know, and they hack into the seed and then pull it out, it's really bad for your knife. It'll dull your knife. It's not good. So we've got this one done, and then this also works to scoop it out. I'll show you that in a second. So we're gonna do, let's just dice this side up real fast. There we go. So this thing is amazing. I love it. And it will save you cuts and your knives. Okay, so we've got all our avocados in there now. We can put this in the dishwasher because it's dishwasher safe. And now we're gonna get our rock crock grill in the oven with all the goodies on it, and the cheese will melt. It'll be great. And like I said, keep an eye on it. You don't want the chips to burn completely, so I'd say check it after like 3 minutes maybe. It's gonna be that fast because all the meat's already cooked. We're just warming it up and melting the cheese. Okey-doke. That is in the oven and shouldn't take but a few minutes. So now we've got our avocados in here. And I want to add a little lime juice, so sorry. So I'm going to cut this lime open. And this is our new juicer. And if you wanted to do zest, there's also a little piece that goes here that's like a microplane for the zester. I'll show you that in another recipe that I have planned. So for now, I just want the juice of this lime. So we're gonna go ahead and juice it. It keeps all the seeds out. And if you want the pulp out too, like if we were doing an orange and you wanted pulp-free orange juice, it's got this great strainer on the edge of it. Sorry, you can't really see that one. Okie dokie. There we go. So we're gonna use the whole juice of a lime because we had quite a few avocados in there. And this recipe, you could just use, you know, however many avocados you want, however much lime you like. If you don't like tomatoes, don't put them in. The best part is this spice right here. That is what's going to make your guacamole. Okay, so we've got our juice here. I'm not afraid of some pulp, so we're gonna put that in there. Also dishwasher safe. And then I just need a fork to mash that up with. You don't want to mash it after you add the tomatoes and stuff because you want those to give it a little texture too besides flavor. So we're going to mash this up with the lime. The lime or a hint of, oh, there's some skin in there. Glad I caught that. The lime or the lemon or whatever you want to use, but something is what helps keep the guacamole or the avocado from oxidizing, turning brown. So it's important you add some kind of acid like that to help with the oxidation a little bit. It still oxidizes. You've seen it, how the guacamole gets brown on top. But that will help greatly. Okay, so we're gonna add our guacamole seasoning. Again, we had quite a few avocados in there, so we're gonna put quite a bit of seasoning in there. I think the recommended on the package is 1 tablespoon per avocado, and we had like 4, so we're gonna use it. All right, we're also adding our own flavor too, so let's mix all that together really well, smush it, make it, you can tell it already looks like guacamole. Now you could serve it like this. You could have served it without the lime too, but you could totally serve it just like this. Let's taste it. Oh, that seasoning's so good. So it's good just like that. But we are actually going to add the tomato and onion. And if you wanted it spicier, add a jalapeno. My kids don't like too much heat, so I didn't add that, but it would be a great addition to this. So now let me get a spoon, and we're just gonna stir it up, and it's done. Spice mixture is delicious. It really puts some pizzazz in that avocado. So there you go. It looks like guacamole. like restaurant style nachos. They look amazing. So now let's put the toppings on these delicious nachos. So first we will put the green onions. I love green onions. I think raw it's better almost than, you know, like red onions and white onions. They just don't have that bite, but they have that great flavor. So I love them as a topper, and they add great color. So we try to always have some on hand. When the garden's in bloom, it's much better than when it's still snowy and wintry here, but these are delicious. Okay, so we've got that, and then we're going to add our lettuce. Fresh torn lettuce here. Chopped, actually. Okay, look how pretty it looks. And then our tomatoes that we chopped with our rapid prep mandolin earlier. So this whole thing, all the prep took no time at all. The longest part of this was letting the meat cook. Normally I'm chopping dinner for hours, especially I make 2 dinners a lot because, as I mentioned in my welcome video, I'm vegan and my family isn't. So I'm chopping for one dinner and then chopping a bunch of veggies for my dinner, and this has saved so much time. So look at these beautiful nachos. So now let's get our guacamole on top, which is delicious. I'm saving some for me too. This guacamole mix is really good. Totally spiced it up, and like I said, you can add whatever you want to add this, but even just plain with the avocado, it was really good. So we're just kind of plopping the guacamole all over it. And our mountain of heavenly goodness. I mean, this looks so delicious. And actually it has a lot of veggies in it. I know it's got the meat and the chips, but it has a lot of good, healthy vegetables and lettuce on it too. So you don't have to feel totally terrible about feeding this to your family. Anyway, this is our nacho platter on the Rock Crock grill stone. Again, it goes on the grill. I could have made grilled nachos too. It's freezing here, so I'm not doing that. But you can put it on the grill nachos, grill pizzas, which just give a little char barbecue flavor, which is great on certain recipes. In the summertime, I'm gonna do a barbecue brisket nacho recipe. That would be phenomenal on the grill on this grill stone. So thanks for learning this recipe with me. I hope you guys make it at home. I hope you enjoy it. I'd love to hear your comments on what you think, and if you tried it, how it came out. You can send photos. Please don't hesitate to contact me. I love food. I love hearing about food. I love helping you make better dinners for your family and yourself. So please reach out, ask questions. And thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, you guys. I will see you next time.